Let's bring Ron Slay in here. Ron, the man brought to you by our friend Zach England at Best and Brock, personal injury attorney that can go toe to toe with the insurance company's attorneys. Zach's got your back. Zach England of Best and Brock. Good morning, Ron. How are you?
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's happening, fellas? How y'all doing?
Oh, well, you're working all the time, man. You were
Yeah.
out busting it last night, too. You are absolutely hammering it.
No days off, baby. No days off for the weak and the weary, man. Gotta keep pushing. Gotta keep pushing.
Follow Ron at the Ron Slade. Check him out on 104.5 The Zone. And we were just asking about this checkered Nealon, or I'm sorry, checker Thompson bowling thing. Is
Football
that what it?
season is over, Dave.
I'm sorry.
We're
I'm
in
sorry.
basketball season.
You know me. I'm reading about prospects for 2025. But Ron, checkering Thompson bowling. Do the players notice that? Does that put any more pressure on them? I mean, they didn't do that when you were there, but do you think it has any effect at all?
Nah, no pressure. I think it's more so it's cool for the fans to feel involved in the game. I think it's something for the opposing team to worry about and look at when they come in. And I think it's unity. It's showing everybody's moving in the same direction. Everybody's cheering on. We know where the home court lies, and I think it just. But you get my thing with it is you got to give them something to cheer for. Like you gotta go out there and deliver. And it doesn't mean you put any extra effort into it, but man, you don't want to let the home crowd down. I mean, you've done it once against Kentucky, then you did it against Missouri, getting beat at the buzzer. So another opportunity, man, to set the record straight, man, and give the home crowd something to fight for. So I love it. I love the idea of it, and I think it's just a little bit of sprinkling, trickled over from football, and I think it's great.
Ron, do do heartbreak losses like last week start to get in players' heads? I remember y'all's first year under Buzz Peterson. I feel like y'all lost every game by last second shots, and it seemed
Yeah,
like you kind of knew at some point that you were just going to get bad luck. Does that start to creep in players' heads some?
yeah, I think so. And then I also believe when you're in it, it's kind of hard to you know, kind of grasp it. But when you're watching it from afar, it's like, dude, this just keeps happening. I do think the one thing we kept on looking forward to was, especially the next year, was like, well, we were waiting on it that year. Like, man, at some point we got to get the breaks because we're out here playing hard. Like, yeah, we shoot ourselves in the foot sometimes, but man, ain't nobody getting breaks like this, man. Like back to back buzzer beaters. So at some point, man, you just know. And I think the difference with this team too is you got more of a veteran bunch, and so you understand how to plug away. That's what's supposed to be. You're supposed to have a veteran bunch and experienced guys that kind of plug away and can always go back to the drawing board and do details and work their way up to getting victories. And I think this bunch should be able to do that. Like you got some seniors out there leading this group. They should be able to, even with Zakai being a sophomore who's well beyond his years right now, should be able to get this group on task and following the right method to get a victory.
At this point in the season, Ron, a lot of Tennessee fans would like to see Tennessee just open it up under Rick Barnes, start running and all that sort of thing. Is that really realistic though? You can't just suddenly change who you are mid-February, can you?
No, it's gonna be difficult. It's gonna be difficult to do. I think one thing I think that can happen, I think they can extend pressure on their own a little bit. But you gotta by doing that, I'm saying so if they're waiting at half court, which Tennessee is a great half court defense. If Zakai was to pick up 3/4 court, you gotta show that you can do this without fouling in the backcourt. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm sure Rick didn't tell him to, hey man, when they inbound the ball, get up there and pressure them 94 feet. Zakai felt that in it, like he felt the momentum shifting and felt the crowd getting into it, and he took it upon himself to go up there and be like, okay, I'm gonna pick up. He's all good with that until you show that you can't do that. So I gotta protect you from yourself. So I gotta make everybody get back. I'm sure they would love to play with pace. He would love to play with pace a lot, but do they play well with pace? That's the question, So a lot of times you got to protect the team from themselves. Um, what happens when you're pushing it in transition? Julian Phillips starts getting charges because he thinks it's his open court. Him being a freshman. It's so many different things that you can go with, and it's all up to the players to prove that they can do that. If you're going to take that into your own hands, prove it. Like I know we used to press on our own, and but
really?
it used to always come out, and because we used to feel like, man, come on, man, we got to turn it up a little bit, and that was the way we turned it up. So, but we also trusted everybody that was coming into the game to be able to do the same thing. And that was just the players' feeling. We would always see Isaiah. Isaiah jumped on the ball on out of bounds. We were like, oh, well, I guess we about to press right here. Everybody else falling in line because he wasn't running back.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So is there? I said this earlier this week, Ron. I want to know what your thoughts are because I've been the gloating, talking trash, talking down Tennessee basketball for about 3 weeks, but I actually I saw a silver lining from the Missouri game on Saturday, which was what I said was I was worried for a while that Tennessee, if a team was just firing lights out on all cylinders from outside, Tennessee would get run out of the building. They didn't get run out of the building. They should have won that game. Am I reading too much positivity into that? Or do you think there is a silver lining in that?
No, I think it is a silver lining. I think it is. It's a good sign that you see a team that can play with desperation. I think this is probably only the second time we've seen this group, especially getting blown out the way they were, be able to fight back and show that they can take the lead. And like you said, should have walked away with that game. I think the other game was Arizona at Arizona. Even though the score didn't get that far of a margin, you did get to see this team get down, fight back, and then take the lead and kind of, almost put it away. But I think it's good. That's good going forward to be able to see that in different instances. And I think you're spot on. Like, you got to take something out of it, especially on buzzer beaters. It's because it's as bad as it was for Santi to miss the free throws, Toby to step in, Zakai to be out of the game right then. Man, you got to understand, like, that was your game. Like, I mean, yes, Missouri got the win, but they really didn't beat you. Like, you really beat yourself. And me personally, I can live with that much, much more than what Alabama did to Vanderbilt or Oklahoma did to Alabama. You know what I'm saying? Like, a blowout you just got handled. And this is like, we got to go back. Let's watch this film. Let's watch how soft we were, this, that, and other. That, a long shot, almost half court. Man, that good job. You know what I mean? Tip your cap. Let's get back to work.
Did you see the quote? It's from Dave Matter at the St. Louis Free Press, and he overheard a Missouri player supposedly say to Visco, he said, "You'll miss this one. You missed the one in the last game."
Yeah.
Does that sort of stuff actually get under your skin or in your head at all?
I mean, I would try it. I would try it. I most definitely would. Like, but I think, see, this is the different in mindset. Because if he would have did it to me, I would have told him, well, I'm gonna make it. Like, I wouldn't have not ignored it or anything. I said, well, I'm gonna make it. The difference is y'all got the same colors on, and I'm at home this time. I'm making these shots. You know what I mean? This ain't Vanderbilt. They got some tricky going down there. Y'all ain't got no tricks up here in Thompson-Boling. We the tricksters. You know what I'm saying? It's like I would have did something. Like, it's no way. The referee probably would have told us, hey, man, y'all cut it out. Something. But no, you're not just talking to me like that. And kudos to Santi just trying to go about his business, but you got to have a cocky arrogance to yourself. You know what I'm saying? To kind of get yourself out of there so you're not thinking about it. You know what I'm saying? You go in your routine and you get to doing what you do. You take your dribbles, you follow through, and you knock it down, and you're able to live with it, man. I've had a situation like that as a pro where I missed a shot and then was able to get back into that situation, and we beat Giorgio Armani's team like it was a derby, so it was kind of like a rival game. And I missed the first one, and one of the guys said something to me, and it was so weird. Like, I started seeing like little spots, like little spots. So I walked away from the line and came back, and started talking. And I was like, okay, let me get back into my rhythm, and ended up making it. And we won the game. So you got to do whatever makes you comfortable, man. You got to have some kind of arrogance and cockiness about yourself, man, because you do this all the time. And can't nobody talk you out of the game. You've been playing too long for somebody to talk you out your game.
Well, you internalized it, had a great answer. there. But on the outside, as an analyst, are you concerned about Tennessee's clutch gene, given what you said?
No, I'm not. Just because we've seen it before. We saw it with Josiah last year in the Texas game when Josiah missed that 3-pointer. It was pretty much the same thing. Didn't happen 2 games in a row like it did with Santi, but it did happen in the Texas game. He missed it for them to get the win, wide open on the wing. All we heard about leading up to after that was guys picking him up, telling Josiah, "Man, we'll love you to shoot that shot again." That's kind of the same thing you got going on with Santi right here. And you saw the run that Tennessee went on after losing that game at Texas. So maybe this is a rallying cry for the team to come together, block out all the noise, and depend on each other and get back to that bond that they have and just push for each other and just keep going. So that's what I'm looking for, because I believe we've seen this before in last year, and it's different when people rallying around Santi this year instead of Josiah. The problem is, will Josiah and those guys be out there?
Do you see this? Do you see the final 6 games here? Do you look at it as an opportunity, or oh no, this is going to be brutal for Tennessee because they start with the number 1 team in the country. They still got to visit Auburn. They've got to visit Kentucky. They've got to visit Texas A&M, who you accurately called last week is the most dangerous team in the SEC outside of Alabama right now.
Serious, man. Yeah, I don't look at it as dangerous. I look at it as like you said, opportunity, because the way the parity is in college basketball, you have no earthly idea who's going to win night in and night out outside of, it seems, Alabama since the Houston loss. Since the Oklahoma loss, but you see Purdue go down. You see Arizona, like everybody's just up and down. And so week in and week out, you get an opportunity to prove. It may not be 1 game, it may be 2, so I think everything is ahead of them and they control their own destiny, like literally. The first thing is first, and I think you got to narrow it down as you want to get the first round. I mean, the first 2 buys going into the SEC tournament, and you build on it the way you did last year, focus in on those games, win you 3, get you a championship, move on, and then you start to reset your goals. So I think week by week, they understand, man, that they have a challenge, and it's not just them. Everybody has a challenge, because now the way Vanderbilt is peaking, that's not a push over them. So I think they got more on their plate than a team like Kentucky has more on their plate than the Tennessee does. Tennessee's in a really great position right now, especially with everybody else losing and you being able to tread water until you get a victory. And this will be a big one tonight.
All right, Ryan, I'm going to transition real quick because I'm a hardcore Grizzlies fan, and I just got to ask you, is John Morant talking a little too much? Because ever since he said he's not worried about anybody in the West, he hasn't been doing that well against the West.
See, that's the thing, man. See, that's the thing. You gotta be careful and mindful of what you throw out there, because it's people that are listening. And if you ain't worried, you know what I mean? I think he should be, if not worried, he should be peeking out of his window when he's home safe. I guess you can call it worried. Yeah, he's in his home confines and peeking out the window. But man, dude, the West, they went loaded up. Like they got to it. And it's going to be interesting to see how they bounce back, especially with them losing games the way they are. That ain't a good look. And this is it's a league, man. The NBA goes up and down, and you go on runs, and it's a long season. And you don't want to give any team motivation. You know what I'm saying? Because those are teams that hold on, especially veteran teams that can get to the playoffs. They can get to the playoffs, and all they got to do is get there healthy, and it can be a problem. So, yeah. I do think he's talking just a little bit, because everybody's not Ja. Everybody on your team cannot go respond the way you can. They're not going to have the ball in their hands, able to do some acrobatic stuff and go out there and score 30 and 10. Everybody can't do that, Ja. Some of the people, man, that's getting 14 or 15 right now, that's going to drop down to 8 because they on high alert walking in there on y'all. So going to be tough, man. You got to play the game. It's fun while you're on top. Man, but at some point, the rabbit always get the gun.
Be sure to hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed, do that. We love visiting with Ron, brought to you by Zach England of Best Brock. Zach's got your back. What's the worst you've ever been dunked on? Because John Morant can dunk on some dudes.
Yeah, I actually never got caught with that, man. So my motto was, if you go, I'm telling you, I think I may have got blindsided my last year playing, I went to help somebody, and the guy didn't even dunk on me. I was definitely in the picture though. But I made that a point, man. All my entire career from high school on, if I'm gonna go up and I'm gonna contest, which I know a lot of people get dunked on, you got to feel my body first. So if you dunk on me, that means you gonna hit me, jump through me, and go and finish, and it's gonna be nasty. Like everybody in the world gonna hear about it. It wasn't likely, man. That's I'm gonna meet you before you get up in the air. I know I'm coming with a lot of force. It ain't happening, Dave. It's not happening, Dave. I'm telling you, I prided myself. I was the dunker on. I was dunking on people. I can't get people dunking on me. No.
Smart.
I can't remember how many years, but last year yesterday was the anniversary. I can't remember how many years of Vincent Yarborough getting dunked on by Kobe's crazy 360. Do you remember that?
Yeah, see, now let me tell you this too. If I would have made it to that level, that's a different level. Now I'll talk to Coach John Brady, who does radio for LSU, yesterday, and he was coaching when I was there. So he had Stromile Swift and Jabari Smith. They had a mob down there at LSU at the time when we were playing, and that was the closest I came. And that's part of the reason why I said I'd never get dunked on. So Stromile Swift, I had him outside of the block. And yeah. So I'm seeing him do that all season. I mean, he going crazy with it. I'm like, hey man, this man here out of his mind, man. So my bad. I'm like, this man is out of his mind, man. So he goes and takes off. I got him on the block. They give it to him in the post. I got my forearm on him. He can't go nowhere. I know the move he's trying to do. He's gonna do a hook shot baseline. Instead of doing a hook shot, this man just jumped straight up in the air, turned, and tried to extend over me. So I pushed him, and he missed the dunk, but they called the foul. And immediately right then, I said, hey, Stro, no, man, this is not what we about to do. Like, first of all, that was so freakish. I didn't know what to do. This man, I ain't never had nobody try to jump over me vertically in one spot. Not a running start. The man's back was to the basket. He jumped up, turned in the air, and tried to extend. I said, nah, man, you must be crazy, dog. Right then, I said, nah, I'm putting my weight on everybody. So now Stromile Swift taught me a lot in that missed dunk.
The Kobe dunk, I don't care who you are. There's nothing that Vincent could have done.
That's what I'm telling you. Like, it's man, them athletes, man, that make it to the NBA, man, are totally different, man. Like, the acrobatic stuff that they do it happens so quick. You can't time it or anything. It just happens. Like, who thought Kobe was going to go around his back and dunk?
I don't think Kobe knew that. I think I swear. I think when he did it, there's a look, because I watched it yesterday, and there's a look of almost surprise. Like, did I just do that?
Yeah, it is, and that's being caught up in the game. And I remember talking to Vince about it. And Vince was like, "It was Kobe." Like what? Like what was it? I'm telling you right now, I know Vince. I know Vince's attitude, man. If that man would have been coming head on, man, Vince would have pushed that man out the air, man. And Vince is athletic enough to go up there and go get it. You know, Vince is freakish athletic too.
Yes.
So, yeah, man, that Kobe just different type of dude.
Vince
I'm a lot younger.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Caleb.
I was going to say, it's smart what you're saying, Ron, because I'm a lot younger than both of y'all, so I didn't watch Patrick Ewing in his prime.
A lot younger.
No, no, I'm saying I didn't get to watch Patrick Ewing in his prime. And I know he's a Hall of Famer, but all I know of Patrick Ewing, really, my first thought is him getting dunked on by Scottie Pippen.
Oh, yeah. But see, that's the thing, man. When you're a shot blocker, people remember. So the older you get, which Pat at that time, even though he was in his prime, he was getting older a little bit. Now, if Scottie would have did that in college or when he first got in the league, Patrick would have wiped the floor with him. Like, when you talking about a 7-footer that could jump, hey, Caleb, this man, his head was at the rim every single time. Every time. Pat Ewing was different, man. So, yeah, Pippen, he got him. He got the old age pad a little bit on that one.
Vincent also talked a little trash to Michael Jordan. Do you remember that?
Oh, no, but I know Vince will.
Yeah, he was with the Wizards, and Michael Jordan was kind of the end of his career, and Michael Jordan was having a quiet game, and I'd read where Vince said he talked a little trash, and Jordan reeled off about 26 straight points at that age and said, "You watch me play. I didn't watch you play growing up."
Probably true. All likelihood true. Like it's some people that's different, man. They take that momentum and motivation, boy, and they can do something different with it.
I ain't poking the bear, man. I'm keeping my mouth shut.
Not those different bears too. Those I mean the average bear. It ain't Yogi.
Ron, we love you, man. Have a blessed day and don't work too hard.
All right, I'm going to sleep.
See you, brother.
Man. Go Vols.
Ron Slay, 104.5 The Zone, the SEC Network, brought to you by Zach England of Best and Brock. Zach's got your back, best personal injury attorney in Chattanooga, and it's really not close. He can go toe-to-toe with those insurance company lawyers.